Coach Cameron, if you just want to start with your overall thoughts on tonight's match.
Yeah, I mean, obviously disappointing. Disappointing result. You know, some mistakes that on another day that we would hope not to make. We looked very solid in the way that we defended last week, and a little disjointed in the way that we dealt with their movement. Uh, Tonight, and credit to them, they're a good team, and they offer a lot on the ball. And the times that we did win the ball, it was very difficult for us to connect that first pass out of pressure and to be able to get into a sustained possession, and be able to get sort of set in our attacking structure. So yeah, difficult night. I mean, I think there's a few things we can look at, and like I said to the guys, there's a lot that's I think correctable. It's not sky is falling or anything like that. We just made some simple mistakes against a very good team, and when that happens, you get punished.
Nashville scored that first goal 25 minutes in. They could have had one before that, though there was potential offside. How do you look at that with Surge's first goal in the night?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's the first and the third are probably really close in terms of offside decisions. But you can't be relying on that. There's a lot that goes into that first goal in terms of the string of mistakes, and then we find ourselves out of shape pretty quick. And like I said, they punish you. Their movement we didn't deal with well enough. We didn't overall in the game. And at least to moments like that, we didn't get to the ball and finish. When we're trying to get pressure to the ball, they're always often able to come back inside, and then that gives you problems. When they can come back inside and open you up that way, it's difficult, and we certainly got punished for it.
And
When
you mentioned,
you go ahead.
um, yeah, you mentioned kind of getting punished defensively for this. Um, with that, what were your thoughts on kind of the impact of missing Boxy for tonight?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you're missing someone that has tremendous experience and steady leadership, and an elite performer. I mean, he hasn't missed a game, and I don't know how long in terms of by being withheld through injury. And so it's an opportunity for guys to step up. And you know, on the whole, I don't think you can pin it on just missing Boxy. I think collectively, our team defending was not up to the standard that we've seen so far this season.
When you can see the goal that early in the second half, how do you go about adjusting to that on the fly right after, halftime team talk, or do you make any adjustments after that, and what does that look like?
Yeah, look, disappointing. Clearly, you don't, you want to be able to pull back and equalize. You don't want to make the hole bigger, and so that was disappointing, but more so the fashion in which we conceded. Again, it's a moment where we almost get pressure to the ball, we almost get there, and then we get punished. They're able to come back inside, they're able to get forward, and then we're scrambling. And so it's more that it followed the theme of some of the other um, instances in the game where we got broken down, and that's clearly something we need to work on.
How'd you feel about Morris's and Devin's partnership in as center backs tonight?
Yeah, I thought they had a lot of good moments. Look, I think the team in general had a lot of really good moments. We came here and, got 14 shots or something like that against a very good team. We had some really good looks in front of goal. Um, the guys across the back, Jeff included, and there was some really good moments. Again, though, some things that as a team, we really need to correct.
Obviously, tough match to come into, but what did you make of Kyle Duncan's first minutes as a loon?
Yeah, I thought he looked good. He was really composed on the ball with his first few touches and got himself into some good areas. Um, I think it's hard to come into a game in that sort of situation, and I know he's been really chomping at the bit to get an opportunity. So just really pleased for him, that he gets to do that. And obviously, you want that to be in different circumstances and come off with a feeling of getting a result. But I thought he acquitted himself well.
Triantis had an absolutely amazing goal tonight. One that a lot of people are already saying is should be up for goal of the year. What do you think of his performance tonight and just how he's been developing since coming onto the team?
Yeah, I mean, he's shown a real knack for scoring from distance, that's for sure. And it's an absolute screamer. He's played well. I think him and Will playing together are good. We can still continue to refine how they work together in possession and how we can get those guys on the ball more. But Nectar's done a really good job since he came here. I've said it many times that it's difficult to come in like he did mid-season last year and make an impact, and he had a significant impact. And he's having a bigger role this year, and he's always hungry for more. So I'm really pleased for him that he got that reward.
All good,
And
Ashley?
then
Kyle?
uh, I've got one more. You, of course, have another tough team next week in a series of tough matches to open the season against Vancouver. How do you kind of look to rebound after, a 3-1 defeat like this?
Yeah, I mean the first is to what watch the game back and really be quite analytical about the performance and make sure we're not just reacting to the result. I do think there were some good moments in the game. There are certainly things we can correct. We have a longer week. We have the time. We have the time on the training field, and so largely it'll be to reflect, to be able to show some of these moments to the guys, then put that into the training, and then hopefully we move better. I mean, I don't think any team is the finished product at this time of the year, and what you want to do is have a good foundation, which we have, a couple good results so far to start the season, which we have, and then we continue to build, and the team will continue to improve and get better.
All right. I believe that's all of them. Safe travels and see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you,
All
Cam.
right.
No
Have a good
worries.
night.
Thank you.